Back to the channel. We are doing it on Litecoin today. I'm going to do it a little different this time. I'm going to give the summary of the coin and then I'll just go into the project. So if you guys like the summary, you guys can move on. If not, just yeah, that's it. This is Litecoin for you. We're going to do something entirely different this time. Here's the pros and cons of Litecoin. Litecoin is open source, obviously. Litecoin is decentralized. Yes, it's like Bitcoin. Litecoin is fast. It's 4 times faster than Bitcoin. Litecoin is more scalable than Bitcoin. I wouldn't say it's scalable. They only do 56 transactions a second, which is kind of doo-doo compared to Visa, who's got like, I think it's 1,600 or 16,000. I don't know, something like that. Something ridiculous. Low transaction fees. This is what I like. Really low transaction fees. Litecoin has been improving regularly since it's been launched. I do believe that, and Charlie Lee is back on this project. Litecoin has a max supply, which is unlike most others. This is a max supply of 84. Straightforward process of mining, so this allows the little guys to mine and less decentralized. So everyone knows, not everyone, but if you didn't know, Bitcoin, most of the miners are big miners and they are in China. Now, say China's grid shuts down or the government just says, hey, get out of here, then, well, there goes mainly the strength of Bitcoin. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but that's just my opinion. Litecoin has a trustworthy developer team. So the team behind it is Charlie Lee. He was actually a ex-Google employee helping to build Google Chrome. 3 reasons was comment to Bitcoin. He didn't want to take it over. He wanted to basically create something like gold is to silver, so, or silver to gold. More scalable, which is AKA obvious, and the mining fees. So instead of having so many different miners that are more centralized, it decentralizes because it lets the little guys mine. So Litecoin's easy to trade. There are several exchanges to trade. You can trade. You can even trade this on PayPal, which there's only 4 assets on there, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, not XRP. I'm sorry, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. Litecoin does have branding issues. It is not a fork. This article is wrong. It is a copy of the code of Bitcoin. Litecoin has lost its credibility over time. This is what they say in this article. In my opinion, I wouldn't say it lost it. Yeah, Charlie Lee did sell out a big sum of his holdings, but he is back on the project again, and it makes sense why he sold it. He had a good reason. Just like the same thing happened with Digibyte, and Digibyte took off after Jared Tate left. Litecoin is one of the most popular coins on the dark web. I wouldn't say it's the most popular, but hey, that's good if it's on the dark web. Or not good if it's on the dark web, but that is good it's being used. So unlike Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin is still used, but still, that means it's being used. So it shouldn't really be a drawback, obviously, if you get the bad coins. So really, there aren't major drawbacks. I will go over some more drawbacks in the video. Another positive, or some more positives I find, is that it's always been in the top 10 cryptocurrency ever since it was or IPO or launched, whatever you can call it. It's never been forked, so it's not a fork of Bitcoin, and it's not Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash actually Bitcoin forked into Bitcoin Cash, and then Bitcoin Cash forked again. I mean, those guys can't stink and make up their mind. How many times are they going to get in a divorce? Once you're divorced, I mean, it's like, geez, it's just like, oh, how many divorces? It's not just one. Come on. So let's go ahead and get into the video. If you guys are still here, cool. If not, well, whatever. But if you guys are still here, I'd really appreciate it if you can smash that like button or hit that subscribe button. It really helps the YouTube algorithms. So first, before I was even doing this video, I've done some research on the project. I've been indifferent about the project. Then I was thinking, well, it could be like a meme coin, or like Doge was. Doge kind of popped, and there's really not many fundamentals or pumpamentals for Doge, or not fundamentals for Doge, but it has the pumpamentals. But anyways, we'll talk about Litecoin, what my thoughts are on it. Do I think it's good or bad? Where's the project going? Should you invest? Should you not? We'll see. Anyways, let's get into all that and more in this video. All right, so Litecoin, we'll start with the tokenomics. Tokenomics, it's at 66 million circulating. It's already had its second halving. The total supply that there will ever be is 84 million. If you guys want to look at the Litecoin halving price chart compared to the Bitcoin and Ethereum, here's Ethereum. Really not much with the halving, but again, they're going to delay of ice age. That's proof of stake, so it's something you wouldn't even need to worry about. But anyways, the Bitcoin halving, you guys can see, usually after about a year of the halving, that's when it just pops off and it explodes to the top and it reaches its all-time high. Same thing happened back in 2017 to 2018. Same thing with the early cycle when it first came out. The first year it exploded as well. It wasn't a halving then, but still, when we saw in 2021, we're seeing this just explode right now. If you look at the Litecoin halving, basically what Litecoin is Bitcoin times 4. So it is not a fork of Bitcoin. A lot of people say it's fork. No, it's not. It's the copy of the Bitcoin code, except the transaction speed is divided by 4. So it's a block every 2.5 minutes instead of every 10 minutes. And has a supply that's 4 times what Bitcoin was. The block reward is still the same as Bitcoin. It is the same, but they have 4 times as many blocks, hence why there's 4 times the supply. So here's the Litecoin halving, which it's kind of interesting. So you see how it kind of, obviously it shoots up because it first comes out. People are like, oh, Bitcoin silver, oh, Bitcoin, yeah, whatever. Anyways, so Bitcoin to gold and Litecoin to silver, I don't know if that's a good relation to it. I mean, you can call it that if you want, but it's just another altcoin. A fun fact is Litecoin is one of the most steady performing coins. So it's always stayed in the top 10, obviously outside of Bitcoin. It's just one of those altcoins that stayed in the top 10 along with Ethereum. So if you see in the first halving, it kind of sits, I guess you can say, steady for about a year and a half, and then it just takes off. It could have been in relation, not with the Bitcoin bubble, but when Bitcoin was starting to go up, people were like, oh, wow, it's gone up, so let me buy some Litecoin. Now, that's what Litecoin has going for it. So every time Bitcoin pumps, and you say, quote unquote, miss out on the pump, or everyone FOMOs in and are like, oh man, I better go for the cheaper one. This one has the psychology aspect behind it, which is what's going for it. So some people see it like on their trading app or on, for example, PayPal. It's one of the few tokens that are actually on PayPal. And people are like, oh, well, I'll buy Litecoin because it's only like $150 and Bitcoin is like $30 billion. So people would have an incentive to get into it. So if you see, we're going through the halving again. Well, it's already happened. This was back in 2019 of August 2019. And now we're going to see what's going to happen. I mean, before in 2019, it kind of, or not in 2019, but before the first halving, it kind of teetered off a bit. And this one, it's kind of going down, so there's no correlation in it. But I do know it has a correlation with Bitcoin. So every time Bitcoin pumps, it pumps. Not in the same ratio, but it pumps similar. So as in it'll go up just like Bitcoin goes up. If you take a look at the Bitcoin price versus Litecoin, you can see, well, over time, Litecoin's constantly been, well, not going down. It's just relative to it ever since the big, I guess you can say, pump. It kind of just been going down, and then it went up just a bit in the next cycle with Bitcoin when it hit. And then it kind of just went back down, and now it's just in a downtrend, big time. I don't know. It could be ready to pump. It could be ready to go. We'll see what happens. It's something that's like Doge. Dogecoin is just one of those other coins. Except Litecoin has a little better tokenomics. There's a little more story. I'll get into that in the rest of this video. But a lot of people are investing in Dogecoin because there's all those TikTok people out there making all kinds of comments and making all kinds of videos like, hey, if you buy this much Doge, well, It could go to like 3 cents, and then you could be a millionaire if you invested $100,000 because it would have 10x'd. No, that's not always the case. Let me show you an example.
Let's all get rich. Dogecoin is practically worthless. There are 800 million TikTok users. Invest just $25. Once the stock hits $1, you'll have 10 grand.
Gather round, friends, as I tell you the tale of the single most 2020 financial story imaginable. It is the tale of a virtually dead internet meme coin from 2013, resuscitated by an internet meme feeding platform. This is the story of TikTok and Doge.
Yeah, so here's just one of the goofy videos. So they got a couple of them. You can actually look at some of the TikTok Doge videos. I don't really go on TikTok much, but I've just been hearing about it like crazy. So let's get into what Litecoin is. So Litecoin basically is Bitcoin. So if you guys don't know what Bitcoin is, go watch my video on Bitcoin and you'll understand it a little better. The reason why they did the four blocks, or divided by 4 basically, is it's 4 times faster. And that's what was needed. And it also decreases the transaction fees. The transaction fees relative to Bitcoin, they're like a couple cents compared to what Bitcoin's is, which is several dollars. Sometimes it even gets as high as, well, you've seen $50. So Litecoin was created by Charlie Lee. Charlie Lee is an ex-Google employee, which has that's good. That's going for it. And a former engineering director at Coinbase. So this guy's been in around the cryptocurrency sphere for a while now, and he understands it. So basically what Charlie Lee was in Google was he was one of the creators of Chrome, or behind the company that created it, which is interesting. I mean, everything, it's not like, hey, I want to be Safari, or no, it's I want to be the next Google when you compare to tech companies. So it's pretty amazing he was behind that. But basically, it was a complement to Bitcoin, solving the issues like concentrated mining pools and transaction timings, as well as make the crypto world more accessible. Hence why people called it silver. So here are some of the advantages: improved capacity, faster block generation, and higher supply limits. So they have 84 million instead of 21. This short video will explain basically what Litecoin is.
Litecoin is a decentralized online currency created in October 2011. Litecoin can be used to purchase services, such as website development, or to buy goods, like jewelry or tea. Litecoin provides a safe and easy way for merchants to accept money, as there are no fees to receive payments and no chargebacks. All transactions are recorded on a public ledger known as the blockchain, so payments can be immediately verified. With Litecoin, you can send money anywhere in the world, to anyone, instantly. The transaction fees are considerably less than those charged by major credit card companies, traditional bank transfers, and even other digital payment processors. For example, a business in Singapore can receive a payment from a customer in San Francisco in a matter of seconds. Additionally, both parties have clear proof that the payment was sent and received.
Also what Bitcoin does.
Litecoin works using secure software that allows you to make payments as easily as sending an email. You can send and store them securely on your computer or your mobile device. There will only ever be 84 million Litecoins, so you will never have to worry about inflation decreasing the value of your Litecoins.
So, I mean, I can play the rest of the video, but just so you guys understand, Litecoin is basically Bitcoin. That's it. And that's why they call it silver, as gold is to Bitcoin and silver to Litecoin. So here's the Litecoin. This is what's concerning and not concerning. So I'm a little indifferent about this. So yes, Charlie Lee, he did sell all of his holdings in the cryptocurrency. This was back in 2017 when it popped to the top. So this was my concern is, well, if he's selling out, maybe he knows something. But then he came back to the project. I don't know if he bought back in, but now he's working on Litecoin full time now. Charlie Lee is basically just, that's all he does now, full time working on Litecoin. So that's a good thing he came back. I mean, everyone says, oh, well, Satoshi Nakamoto never sold his holdings, or he doesn't even exist, but it could be a group of people. We don't know. And I believe that when Charlie Lee sold his tokens or his Litecoins, that kind of helped with the project, as in like he doesn't hold a big amount. So like a lot of people could be thinking, oh well, if it pumps and pumps and pumps, maybe he might sell eventually. Well, he's already sold now, so now it can pump and go and do what it wants, and the big founder won't sell out. But Bitcoin and Litecoin, they are similar. I do understand the silver to gold relationship, but I have two thoughts on Litecoin. So the first one is that it's not going to pump as strong as Bitcoin was. As I showed you guys in the chart, that compared to BTC, the price has just been steadily going down. So you'd be better off just investing in BTC than you would investing in Litecoin. As you can see, it has just been going downhill. The thing that a Litecoin has going for it is that its market cap is only 10 billion. On the other hand, Bitcoin is way larger. Bitcoin is like 680, I think it is. No, 629. So basically, it's 62.9 times the size. Litecoin and the Bitcoin Cash. So a lot of people are like, well, Bitcoin Cash is similar to Litecoin. But no, it's not, because Bitcoin Cash is actually a fork off of Litecoin. So Bitcoin Cash has the same block time as Bitcoin does, which is no difference. So it's like, what in the world? Why would you even make a fork? Well, the reason they did this is they were using it to make Bitcoin Cash as being faster than Bitcoin. So the way Bitcoin Cash speeds up the transactions is it goes from 8 millibytes to 32 millibyte block sizes. It doesn't even change the time frame of it. So basically it allows the processing of more transactions per block. So that, I mean, my opinion though, is I don't really like Bitcoin Cash and the fact that it's a fork of Bitcoin. Litecoin has not forked yet. And it's been steady, being in the top 10 over time, and Bitcoin Cash has not. Bitcoin Cash went way down at one point. It's still steadily declining. You can actually go on litecoin.com and check out the news. They are pretty active with their news. They're pretty active community, which is good. Litecoin is basically worth something or worth what someone is willing to pay for it, just like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was first mover, so it does have that going for it. And then Litecoin technically is first mover in being shorter block times and lower transaction fees, which does have that going for it. So now this is the good thing for Litecoin. So Litecoin has investment from Grayscale. So here you can see basically the breakdown of it. Obviously, most of it's going to be in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum, definitely, I'm definitely bullish on Ethereum. I love Ethereum. I feel like they are going to follow Bitcoin big time. They are undervalued. This isn't financial advice. This is just my opinion. So if you look at Ethereum, over 17% have gone into Ethereum. But with the other alt, here you can see the breakdown of Bitcoin, Zcash, Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, and the different coins in here. You guys can actually download this on your website. But if you see this little blue blip here, this is Litecoin. So if you look in the previous ones, you could barely see them, but you can tell that institutions are starting to say, okay, well, no, well, not institutions, but people buying Grayscale are like, oh, well, let me buy some more Litecoin. I want to buy some Litecoin. And when that happens is more and more people are going to say, oh, well, Litecoin's going up. I need Litecoin. And people FOMO in, and that's what causes it to go up. Just like Bitcoin is exploding right now, Litecoin could be a sleeping Bitcoin. And it could be ready to explode. Hence why gold moves, then silver moves. And silver usually moves 3-4 times what gold will move. So it's basically leveraged. And also it's the reverse. If Bitcoin goes down, Litecoin will go down a lot faster. So you guys can look at the research or the amount of inflows that they have. Grayscale is definitely getting a lot of interest in it. But here's the spread between Ethereum and any of the other altcoins that they have. Obviously, you can see Ethereum is a huge investment amount. But you can see, look, the altcoins are increasing more and more and more. So here's another bullish aspect going for Litecoin is it's one of the 4 coins that are actually listed initially on PayPal. So PayPal, or if you guys remember, back when Bitcoin was getting ready to explode from about 11,000, and then it just went straight up. That was when PayPal news came out. So when the PayPal news came out, that's when it just took off like a rocket. So when people are looking at it on their PayPal account, they're like, oh man, I can't buy Bitcoin, it's so high. And then they're going to buy Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, or Ethereum. But right now, Ethereum is exploding. It's getting so high. But my thought is, well, they got a $600 stimulus check coming. So, well, I guess what I can do is I can buy some Litecoin and some Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash and see what happens. So if you guys factor that in, it's like, oh man. And Venmo is to use the crypto on their wallet. So now you can start using Venmo to send crypto to other people. So that's definitely a bullish aspect going. And this is the last thing I want to leave you guys with is the Litecoin hash rate. So if you guys see the hash rate, it is cyclical. Just like silver and gold, they are cyclical as well. But you can see that, well, it did pop last time Bitcoin popped, and it's already on the rise. So I think it'll go on the rise as well, and it'll pop very high. I think it'll follow Bitcoin, but it does concern me that it isn't first mover, so you guys do have to keep that in mind. But these are my thoughts on Litecoin. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button. If you didn't like the video, go ahead and hit that dislike button. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I make these videos so I can teach you guys about cryptocurrencies and teach you guys about the different thoughts I have on the project. Between me and you, I mean, anyways, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't really know. I have two thoughts on Litecoin, whether it's going to go up and whether it's going to go down. So I'm split between it. As on the other end, on Ethereum, they have a lot of things going for it. I know it's going up. So at the end of the day, I would say, well, there are other projects to look at. So that's my opinion is I'd look at other projects. And if you can't find other projects, well, then it's up to you. You make the decision. And if you want to compare the hash rates, obviously you can see Bitcoin is just king, leaving Litecoin and Ethereum just in the dust. They don't even compare. Because Bitcoin's at etahashes and the other guys are at terahashes. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.